CMA journey, you've probably heard about the IoT program and started asking, right? Like, is this for me? Do I have to do it? Well, today we're going to break it all down and demystify the entire industry-oriented training program so you can make the absolute best decision for your career. Let's dive in. So think about it. You've poured countless hours into mastering the concepts, the formulas, all the theory. You definitely have the knowledge. But here's the thing. There's often this gap, right, between the textbook stuff and what a company actually needs you to do on day one. And that gap, that's exactly what the IoT program is built to fill. So here's our game plan for the six-liner. We'll kick off with what IoT even is, help you figure out if it's the right move for you, lay out the step-by-step action plan from signing up to getting certified, look at the career payoff, and then wrap it all up to help you make that final call. All right, so first things first, what exactly is this CMA IoT program? Honestly, the best way to think about it is as a bridge. It's the official bridge that connects all that theory you've learned to real practical skills you need to succeed in the professional world. Okay, so officially, IoT stands for Industry-Oriented Training. It's a short-term, super practical program run by the ICMAI itself. And its whole goal, it's all about giving you that real-world industry exposure, getting your skills job ready, and it usually takes about 2 to 3 months to complete. You know, what's really cool about this program is just how flexible it is. I mean, the goal is super clear, get you that real industry experience. And it's run by the Institute, so you know it's legit. But the big thing here is the choice you get. You can often do it online, offline, or even a mix of both in a hybrid format. That means you can find something that actually fits your schedule and how you learn best. Okay, this brings us to probably the biggest question you have. Should you actually do it? Because let's be real, this isn't just about ticking a box. This is a strategic move for your entire career. All right, listen up, because this is probably the most important thing you'll hear about IoT. For most students, it is completely 100% optional. It's not something you have to do. And that's huge, right? Because it means the decision is yours. You get to decide if this is a smart investment of your time and your money. So how in the world do you decide? Well, let's look at 2 typical scenarios. See which one sounds more like you. On one hand, maybe you've already done some really solid practical training. You had an amazing internship where you learned a ton. If that's you, you might already have the skills IoT teaches. But on the other hand, maybe you feel like your practical training was, well, a little light. If that's the case, IoT is literally designed for you. It's built to fill that exact gap and make your CV stand out. Okay, so timing is also a huge piece of this puzzle. The most common time, and for good reason, is while you're prepping for your CMA final. Another really smart time to do it is right after your practical training, especially if you walked away feeling like you needed more. And the third option, right after you've cleared your final exams. I mean, what a great way to polish up your resume just before you start hitting up those campus placements. All right, let's say, well, that's exactly what this 10-day industry-oriented training program is all about. It's designed specifically to fill that void. Seriously, think of it as the bridge connecting everything you learned in school to where you want to be in your career. And the best part, it's built in just 10 days. Okay, so how do they pull this off in 10 days? The structure is actually super simple, but really, really effective. For the first 7 days, you're doing a deep dive, building that practical, hands-on toolkit. Then for the last 3 days, it's all about sharpening your professional edge. It's not just about knowing how to do the job, it's about knowing how to communicate your value, get noticed, and actually move up. And you can really see the strategy here. A huge 70% of the program is dedicated to those practical, hands-on skills. You know, the stuff employers are literally desperate for right now. The other 30%, that's focused on those absolutely crucial soft skills that help you climb the ladder. That mix is a really powerful 1-2 punch for your career. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of that first module, building your practical toolkit. Over these first 7 days, the whole goal is to basically forge the essential tools that every single modern accountant needs, and it all starts with the absolute fundamentals. First up, we're talking about the bedrock of all accounting, finalizing the accounts. And listen, this isn't about the theory you read in a textbook. No, this is about mastering the real-world process. It's about making sure everything lines up perfectly with accounting standards, international accounting standards, and, you know, all the other regulations you're going to run into out there. Okay, from there, we move into what is basically the language of business compliance itself, taxation. Let's be clear, understanding taxes is completely non-negotiable for an accountant. It's a must-have, and this program makes sure you're fluent by covering it from all sides. And the program really breaks this down into the 2 sides of the tax coin. On the one hand, you've got direct taxation, so we're talking about things like smart tax planning and actually filing income tax returns. Then on the other side, you dive deep into indirect taxation, which today is pretty much all about the world of GST. You have to master both because, well, companies desperately need people who can handle corporate tax and navigate that crazy, always changing GST system. The training also goes deep on cost and audit skills. Now, think about any company that actually makes something, manufacturing, production. For them, an accountant who can maintain cost records and prep audit reports is just incredibly valuable. You're learning how to make sure the company is efficient and compliant, basically right from the factory floor up. But you know, an accountant's job today is about way more than just crunching numbers. The program totally gets this, so it also covers those foundational legal and admin skills every single business relies on, starting with the very basics of how a company is even set up. Take contract management, for example. I mean, this is such a critical skill. It's all about minimizing financial risk and boosting performance. And here, you're not just reading about it. You get hands-on experience preparing real tender documents and work orders. These are skills that make a direct impact on a company's bottom line right away. All right, next up, managing the absolute financial lifeblood of a company. It's working capital. This part covers the whole shebang, from cash and inventory to who owes you money and who you owe money to. You even get into the real nitty-gritty, like designing things like bin cards, you know, to track materials in a stockroom, and developing fixed asset registers. Okay, so having a rock-solid foundation is absolutely vital. We've established that. But to really stand out from the crowd, you've got to be looking ahead. And that's why the program spends a good chunk of time on the modern financial skills that are literally shaping the future of this entire industry. And this is where things get really cool. You're tackling the big, advanced topics that are defining where the profession is going. We're talking project financing, digital financial services, and yeah, the application of AI, business intelligence, and fintech. Let me tell you, these are the skills that don't just get you a job, they make you indispensable. But it's not just about the type of skills you learn. It's also about how widely you can apply them. And to prove that point, I just want you to look at this number, 6. What could the number 6 possibly have to do with a practical training program like this? Well, that number represents adaptability, because during this program, you learn how to prepare Management Information System, or MIS, reports for 6 totally different sectors. I'm talking power, steel, health, even environmental health and safety. What does that prove? It proves you can take what you know and apply it pretty much anywhere. You're not just a one-trick pony. So that wraps up our deep dive into the practical toolkit, which brings us to the final 3 days of the program, Module 2. This is all about taking that amazing set of technical skills you just built and learning how to use it effectively by sharpening your professional edge. Yeah, this part is all about what happens beyond the spreadsheet. Think of it like this. Interview skills, that's your key to get in the door. It's your ability to show your value and actually land the opportunity. But presentation skills, that's what lets you shine once you're inside. That's how you communicate complex ideas and actually get people to listen and make decisions. I love this metaphor. It's just perfect. Your technical skills are the engine. They give you all the power, right? But your soft skills, communicating, presenting, persuading, that's the steering wheel. The engine gets you moving, but the steering wheel decides where you go. And honestly, how far you get. You need both. So you put it all together, and after 10 really intensive days, the transformation is pretty much complete. You've gone from a student who has a degree to a confident, industry-ready professional who's got both a powerful technical engine and a precise steering wheel to guide your entire career. So there you have it. The path from the classroom to the corner office is laid out right in front of you. The skills you need, both the technical and the professional ones, they're all defined. Really, the only question left is the one that only you can answer. The roadmap is clear. So where will you begin?